right, welcome to section 5.3, adding polynomials. Please do not start this section until everything before it on your checklist has been completed. Your defining of the terms, your three things for section 5.1 and 5.2. I'd like you to write down the learning outcome for section 5.3, please. It is to model, record, and explain the operations of addition and subtraction of polynomial expressions. Okay, feel free to pause the video at this point if you need to, so that you can get that down properly. Okay, so the first example here, it says use algebra tiles to model 3s squared plus 2s minus 6 and negative s squared minus 2s plus 1, and then write an addition sentence. Okay, so let's first of all model these two trinomials. So 3s squared plus 2s minus 6. Let's go. 3s squared plus 2s minus 6. 1, 2, 3. That's the first one. That's what I would do to model 3s squared plus 2s minus 6. I also am going to, model negative s squared. Okay, negative s squared minus 2s plus 1. Negative s squared minus 2s plus 1. Okay, so this is how I'm modeling adding them. And then at this point, what you need to do is collect like terms. Okay, so kind of like what we were doing in section 5.2. So what you need to do is find the tiles that are the same that can cancel each other out. For example, this right here is a 0 pair, so they can cancel each other out. They add to 0. We can group these two whites with these two negatives, and they're gone. I can group this one with one of those, so they're gone. So write what's left. You've got 2x squared. You've got no x's, and then you've got 5 negatives. So 2 negative. Oh, I should have used s's. Sorry, one sec. It's not x's, it's s's. The answer should have s. There we go. So the answer is 2s squared minus 5. All right, let's move on to the first check. So sketch algebra tiles to model each sum and then write the sum. So please go ahead and pause the video right now, get these questions done, and then come back and check that you got them right. All right, welcome back to the check. So sketch algebra tiles to model each sum and then write the sum. Don't take shortcuts here, because if I ask you to sketch algebra tiles on a test and you have not been practicing, you might find that difficult. So I'm going to try to draw them smaller than I normally do because I've got lots to fit in. So 6p squared. Sorry, 6p, not 6p squared. There's a p. 1, 2. They're those rectangles. They're not squares because it's not squared. 4, 5, 6. There's 6p plus 4. Now my light colored represents positive. There's 6p plus 4. Plus negative 2p. Dark. Negative 2p dark. Plus 1. Okay? So 6p plus 4 plus negative 2p plus 1. Grouping the 0 pairs, I could cancel these two with any 2 there. Okay, gone, gone. These are white and this is white, so they can't cancel each other. I can group them. So the remaining tiles are these 4 rectangles. 3, 4, and then 5 little. 3, 4, and then the one over there. So my answer is 4p plus 5. Moving on to B, 2x squared minus x plus 1. 2x squared minus x plus 1 plus x squared, it's positive, so I'm leaving it right, minus 3. 3 negatives. If we group what can be grouped, these are white, so they can't cancel each other. The only thing that can cancel is one of these with one of those. So the remaining tiles are 3 boxes that are light colored because they're positive. I've got one dark. No, that's not very good. I don't want it to look like a square. I want it to look like a rectangle. I want it to look like this. There we go. And then I've got 2 of these guys. So my answer, 3x squared minus x minus 2. Last one, 3e squared. 1, 2, 3, 6e. Oh boy, this is a big one, isn't it? Try to make them look like rectangles. I'm venturing into square zone. Don't. Positive, positive, but negative 5. So 5 little boxes that are shaded in to represent negative. Or use colors if you want. Up to you. Okay. 3 squared plus 6e minus 5 plus 4e squared. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4e squared minus 3. 1, 2, plus 8. Oh boy. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Group what can be grouped. These are whites, these are darks. Okay, so we have 0 pairs. So 3 clear ones with 3 dark ones. So I have 1 dark one left over. What do I got? 3 negatives, 3 positives, leaving 3 positives, 5 negatives with 5 positives, so all of these can get rid of 5 of them, leaving 3. So my answer is negative e squared plus 3e plus 3. Wow, hopefully that's what you had. Pause if you need to catch up. Okay, algebra tiles are not always available, and to be honest, they're not a lot of fun, are they? They're a bit tedious after a while, especially like that last question. Okay, so to add polynomials without tiles, how do we do it just mathematically or symbolically, algebraically? To add polynomials without tiles, you just got to remove the brackets and add the coefficients of the like terms. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. So if we have 3c squared plus 5c minus 6 plus 2c squared minus 3c plus 4, you can just drop the brackets. They're brackets around this trinomial just to show you that it's a trinomial, but we're just adding. So we can just drop them. So 3c squared plus 5c minus 6, and then plus 2c squared minus 3c plus 4. Get out your highlighter and start collecting like terms. C squareds with other c squareds. C's with other c's. Just plain old digits with plain old digits. So 3c squared and 2c squared, 5c squared. 5c minus 3c, 2c, negative 6 and a 4, negative 2. So when we add 3c squared plus 5c minus 6 to 2c squared minus 3c plus 4, we get 5c squared plus 2c minus 2. Move on to your check, and please pause here. Come back when you have gone through it yourself. Okay, so hopefully you've tried these 3 by yourself. Now look what they've done for you, and I actually forgot to erase this from your page, so I've left it online. Okay, so the first step, they remove the brackets. We have 7g minus 8 plus 3g minus 1. They've just gone ahead and dropped the brackets. That's all they've done in this set. But then when they group like terms, they actually move them near each other instead of what I've been doing, highlighting them so you can just easily find them. Either way is fine. And then they're saying add the coefficients of like terms. So they've grouped the g's together because they are like terms, and then they're saying, well, 7 plus 3 is 10. So 7g and 3g makes 10g. And then you have negative 8 and 1 is negative 7. So my answer is negative 7. 10g minus 7 is the answer to A. All right, the next one, remove the brackets. So 2a squared minus 9a plus negative 5a squared plus 12a. Group the terms. So I'm going to group this a squared with this a squared. So I have 2a squared minus 5a squared. And then I also have a negative 9a and a 12a. So I will be adding this set here, and I will be adding this set. So that's the grouping of the like terms. So I have 2a minus, or just a 2 minus 5 is negative 3, and we're talking about a squareds. So I have negative 3a squared. And then I have a negative 9 and a 12, which is a 3, and we're talking about a's. So negative 3a squared plus a. Okay, last one. Drop the brackets. Negative c squared plus 11c minus 3 plus 4c squared plus 5. We are going to group. So if you don't feel like moving them around, and you know what, I'm not necessarily a big fan of this moving around, because when you're moving it around, what if you don't write it down properly? What about the highlighter? Let's just group. Okay, group the c squareds with c squareds. Group the c with no other c's to group it with, so it's going to stay by itself. And then just group the numbers. So, you know, if you don't want to do this rearranging step, don't, because I wouldn't. What if you write it down wrong? So I have negative c and a 4c, so I've got 3c squared. I have an 11c, remember that was the only one. So it's sitting by itself, and then I have negative 3 and 5 is a 2. Okay, how'd you do? Getting the hang of this? Okay, last example is we are going to add them vertically. Remember, vertically just means up and down. So we are just going to stack them on top of each other. But what's important is how we stack them. So we got to make sure that terms are stacked on top of each other properly. So if I have 2m plus 9, and I want to stack that on top of 3m squared plus m minus 14, I can't go like this. I can't put 3m squared plus m minus 14 like that, okay? This is an m and this is an m squared. I can't group them. I can't group this 9 with this m. They're not like terms. So when you stack them, make sure you're stacking them so that the terms that are alike are underneath each other, like that. Okay? And then you can go ahead and group like terms and add the stuff that can be added. So if I'm adding here, I've got nothing to add to this 3m squared. You can draw your line like we're adding. There's nothing to group with this 3m squared. So that's just going to sit by itself. I couldn't group it with anything. But I can group this 2m and the m. 2 and 1 make 3. And then I can group just these numbers. 9 and negative 14 is negative 5. Okay, so if you like that better, if you like seeing them on top of each other and that helps you to sort of visualize which stuff can be grouped together, go ahead and do that. All right, pause here, finish up these checks, and then come back and see if you got them right. All right, so 1a. We have 2x plus 3 and 4x plus 8. Notice how they stack the x's on top of each other and then the digits on top of each other. So 2 and 4 is 6, and then 8 and 3 is 11. So my answer is 6x plus 11. Okay, in B, I've got a p squared and I have a 12. Notice I don't have a p term in this first term, but I do in the second. And that's why it's sitting by itself. I can't group a p with anything else because there are no other just p's. So I can add the p squareds to get 3. 5 minus 2 is 3. There is nothing to group this 3p with, so it sits by itself, and then I group the digits. Get plus 5. Okay, last one. I'm going to ignore the lines and just do it over here. Negative 6b squared minus 2b plus 8. All right, look at this term. Now I have 9b in the front. I'm not going to put the 9b here because I need to group it with the b. So I'm going to put the 9b here. And it's a positive. There's nothing in front of it, so put a positive if that makes you happy, so that you remember it's positive. Okay, the b squared is negative. There's a negative, and I'm going to list it under the other b squared, and then minus 19 goes at the end under that other digit. Remember, we're adding. We're adding. So negative 6, and another one is negative 7b squared. Okay, we're adding b squareds. So we're adding the coefficient that's negative 6, and then this negative 1. Okay, we're adding b's. I have negative 2, but I have 9. So 7, because 9 and negative 2 is 7. And then 8 and negative 19 make negative 11. Okay, how'd that go for you? All right, so to end off this lesson, you are going to make sure your skill builder got done. You are going to complete your practice. Make sure you get that online quiz done, please. Work on your learning journal and work on that unit problem. Okay, we're halfway through, so make sure you're keeping up with those things.